We're turning our eye to the NBA because, as we know, it's been a while since we've seen Joel Embiid play basketball. He had the season-ending knee surgery, averaged just over 23 points per game last year, and yet he missed 63 games. He was not the only star, though, to miss time. You see Paul George there. He missed 41 games. Tyrese Maxey contributed just over 26 points. He missed 30 games. Oh, by the way, Paul George just had knee surgery earlier this week. So lots of questions to be asked of the 76ers as they come into the new season. We still got a ways to go, but it's never too early to break down the association, and to do so, we've got our team of John Gonzalez and Tim Doyle joining us here. I want to start the conversation, guys, with the future of Joel Embiid, because ever since he won MVP back in 2023, he's played in just 58 regular season games, 7 postseason matches. That includes the play-in. However, team president Daryl Morey believes that Embiid will be ready to go for training camp. John, true or false, Joel Embiid will be ready to go for the 2025 season in October?
This is what they told us last year. It's going to be false. I should also note, by the way, that asking somebody from Philadelphia to talk about this team feels like a little aggressive to my end. I'm not loving this work environment. I'm going to have to talk to HR about this. There might be a complaint filed. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, look, Daryl Morey can say whatever he wants about Joel Embiid, but we got that last year. If you recall, last year in the summer, we were told coming out of the Olympics that Joel Embiid was in career best shape. And what happened? He proceeded to play 19 games. He shoved a reporter. He was frequently injured. The wheels came off the team that only won 24 games. They went into the tank. Now, luckily, that going into the tank ended up resulting in getting VJ Edgecombe in the 3rd pick. But all roads lead back to Joel Embiid. If he's not healthy, Haley, if he's not out there, Tim, then this team is already sunk before they even get started. So, you know, they can say whatever they want in July? Get back to me in October when the games actually start.
Wow, that was an amazing answer by you. You did that in 30 seconds, okay? Because I know, John, that could have been a 2-hour show. That question in Philadelphia, because you are a legend there, you answered that question in around 30 seconds. That
really good stuff, John, by the way.
Yeah. Great job by you, John. Embiid the last 2 seasons has been a nightmare. There's no other way to say it. You know, the previous 3 seasons, he finished first in MVP, second and second. Here's a guy that missed his first 2 years in the NBA altogether. Now, I believe NBA basketball players, their prime is 28 to 31. Like, that is you are amazing at that point. Joel Embiid, this entire season, is going to be 31 years old. He'll turn 32 in March. This is obviously the concern with Joel Embiid. You can't make the club in the tub, meaning the cold tub, because you're always hurt. So the guy's an amazing player. He makes $55 million a year. He has a partner. He has a son named Arthur who's 4 years old. My question is, Haley and John, at this point in his career, is he putting in the work? You know, why is it always that age, 28 to 31? That's normally when, like, professional athletes, really is exactly when I settled down in life, got married, you have a family, priorities change. If I was making $55 million a year, it would be highly unlikely I'd be talking to both of you guys right now. I'd probably be sipping on a margarita somewhere at a beach. So the guy's an amazing talent. Obviously, as a basketball fan, John knows this. You want to see him healthy on the floor, but he's just a giant question mark going into every season.
I timed you, Tim, and I picked it up after you showed us how long it took John to talk for 30 seconds, and you just talked for 1:23. So we got to keep things tight here as we move it along. Let's talk about Paul George next, gentlemen. Just seems like those knee scopes going around. We found out that he had knee surgery earlier this week to repair a knee. I mean, John, you're shaking your head. This is how I feel when people ask me about the Dallas Cowboys, so trust me when I tell you I feel your pain. So when we talk about Paul George, John, where's your confidence at here? It's not just Joel Embiid, it's all of the other stars being impacted as well, too.
I can't believe you just compared the Sixers to the Cowboys. What a cursed sentence that was. This is a cursed franchise. I mean, of course, Paul George, who was ostensibly healthy this summer, goes to Summer League. He's walking around. He's talking to people. There's pictures of him. I'm like, all right, Paul George is going to be all right this year. And then, of course, he gets hurt in an offseason workout and has to have knee surgery. This is how things go for this franchise. I don't know what basketball gods they've angered, but they need to burn some sage or offer some sort of sacrifice, because this has been like this for the last 25 years, Haley and Tim. They haven't gotten out of the second round. around, and bad things continually happen to this team. Look, Paul George, I was one of the guys who was advocating for Daryl Morey to sign Paul George last year because all it did was cost cap space, right? He was coming off of a career shooting year with the Clippers. He shot a career high from the field, and he shot a career high from 3. And what happens when he gets to Philadelphia? He plays 41 games. He looks horrendous. He can't get a shot to fall. And then this offseason, oh yeah, he needs knee surgery. I mean, if things just continually go from bad to worse to awful and stay broken in Philadelphia, up to and including Paul George. I had mentioned that all roads go back to Joel Embiid, and they're dead in the water if he's not out there playing. Well, a close second here is Paul George. They don't just need him to be out there. They need him to be the guy that he was in his final season with the Clippers. And guys, I have my doubts.
Yeah, how could you not have your doubts? The guy's going to be 35 years old. And by the way, that answer was a minute 17. So your passion for the Paul George is actually 3, maybe 4 times as much than it is for Joel Embiid. Paul George is an amazing talent that never got over the hump to win a championship. He was always playoff P, and it was someone that was great in the regular season, can't win in the playoffs. You know, it's almost poetic justice that the 76ers signed him. It's a perfect marriage. Like, all this talent, never really fulfilled it. Like, he fits perfectly on the 76ers. I don't know what to expect from Paul George. I think he's really caught up right now with off the court, and he does. His podcast is awesome. His podcast is better than his basketball game. Haley, when it becomes that point in your career when your podcast is better than your basketball game, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, not good to be known as a podcaster if you are Paul George. I'd be curious to know how he feels about that. But nonetheless, we'll see how healthy he is when training camp gets underway in October. So let's talk about what this season looks like in 25 for your 76ers, John. They finished 13th in the East last year, 24-58, finished on a 2-game losing streak, John. I guess the good news is here that there's only room for improvement. What do you think?
Yeah, nowhere to go but up, but that's 'twas ever thus, Haley. I feel like I have PTSD talking about this team. What's my prediction for this team this year? More of the same, more tomfoolery. Something will go wrong. You'll think that Embiid is back, and then, he'll slip on a banana peel or something. Look, on paper, this team in a weakened Eastern Conference could potentially do some things. The ceiling is pretty high here because you do have Joel Embiid, you do have Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe in limited activity in Summer League look really good. McCain from last year could have been Rookie of the Year before he got hurt. Womp womp, of course he did. Quentin Grimes, are still working on signing him. But on paper, they're pretty loaded. And outside of the Cavs and the Knicks, nobody in the Eastern Conference scares me. However, as I mentioned, this is a cursed franchise. So I think at best they're looking at somewhere in the 6 to 8 seed range. I'll take the higher end just for, a little bit of modicum of optimism. I'll say that they finish as the 6th seed, but it looks like another first round out, barring some sort of really unforeseen dramatic improvement by this team that hasn't happened again since Allen Iverson was there 25 years ago.
Okay, John, time to breathe. Time to breathe. Okay, the Eastern Conference is very weak this year. You got Orlando as maybe the 3rd best team in the East. But to John's point, if I had to have a prediction, my prediction is incomplete. I don't know what to expect from this team. This team, to John's point, if they're healthy, well, they could be extremely dangerous. But the 76ers and the Clippers in the Western Conference, I don't know, Haley. It's just something about those teams. They always figure out a way to let you down.
Yes, they do. Well, John, I am certainly hoping that they don't let you down this year, man. Deep breaths, as Tim is saying. Deep breaths. We will keep our eye on the 76ers this year. Look, 12-1 odds to win the East. Tim said it. The East is a little weak this year because of injuries. It is the Cavs leading the way when it comes to the shortest odds at plus 240. But who knows? The 76ers are just a mixed bag when it comes to the 25 season.